What do you guys see as the challenges right now? Are there challenges in the industry that are being I go back to where technology changes. I remember back when we had a piece of oven testing equipment, and it required a serial port in your computer. You had to have your computer on site, right? To put the adapter into your serial port, and it connected into the data logger, and you had to have that. And then all of a sudden, none of the laptops had serial ports, so you had to go find a converter. And then after a while, you couldn't hardly find a converter, and if you found one like Amazon or something, it's awful. So then eventually those laptops got old,
sure,
or those everything that had serial ports, where we kept a laptop just to run that program on and that logger on. Anyway, I say all that to say this, that it took a long time for some of those companies to go, you know what? Maybe we should re-engineer that to a USB, since everybody's using USB now.
Right.
And they did, and everything's all, gravy now. But I'm sure are there things that you guys have dealt with? The battery world is hot right now.
Oh, yeah.
Super hot. I mean, you get a chainsaw with a battery in it now.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Yeah, so I think, if we're splitting up, I would split up challenges and trends, right? I think challenges that we're seeing right now, definitely elephant in the room. There's a chip shortage. Most people are aware of that, right? So I think everyone's felt the effects of that. I'm sure you guys have, as well.
Yeah.
Just with different suppliers. But I think, the other thing too is capital spending's down this year, right? So I think from a challenge perspective, those are two of the things, the headwinds that we're facing. The chip shortage is not only affecting, maybe some of our stuff, but also the people that we supply to. So, an assembly line or something like that we might have set a date for May to ship tools, they're moving it back to September, because they're not building stuff. So those are sort of the, I would say, challenges that we face. As far as how fast technology is advancing, it's not like we're a DVD manufacturer or something like that, what I mean, or a CD manufacturer in the world of MP3s. Our stuff doesn't change quite as quickly, but some trends that we're seeing, I would definitely say, kind of getting more into the trend side. We've seen a lot of people switching from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth. As far as communication of cordless tools, right? So anyone that doesn't know that, our tools can communicate either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth back to the controller or plant or whatever. That's a big one. And I'll tell you the reason why. You were on your laptop talking to IT earlier today, right?
Yep.
So in these big plants, these giant facilities, right? Maybe not so much of an issue at a smaller facility, but some of these giant facilities, when they go Wi-Fi, they have to get a lot of support from their IT department. I'm sure you guys have ran into that before, right? So, when they go Wi-Fi, they got to assign IP addresses, network map, all this stuff. And what really the problem is like, they have to get those IP addresses and get all that information from IT. They have to submit the tickets. They might need, Ethernet drops within the plan and things like that, right? And they want to get away from that. That's probably a big one that we've noticed in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
3, 4, 5 years.
I'm saying that a little bit as well, and it's my personal opinion. It's a little bit of a shame too, because the Wi-Fi capability that you have. I mean, one of the major advantages of that is that you can locate your controller elsewhere away from the application,
right,
and still run the tool communicating with that controller via Wi-Fi and a router, Ethernet back to the network. So it's a shame that the trend is going away from that. But I do understand it, because cybersecurity these days is priority. You've got we've seen it very recently throughout the world. think we were all scrounging for gas a few weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because of that. So I understand it, but there are some capabilities that we don't have with Bluetooth, right? So that we may have with Wi-Fi. So
Yeah, and you know it's crazy too is with Bluetooth it's kind of how it communicates, right?
Yeah.
We won't go into details about that, but the find an empty highway and run. We run into and I say we, like I'm saying really our customers and with our tools, we'll run into situations where they are having problems. So you go into some of these plants, they got Bluetooth speakers, they got microwaves, they got all kinds of transmitters and stuff like that will interrupt that signal. And I'll tell you just one quick funny story about that. And this was actually, I believe, on Bluetooth. We were in a facility, obviously can't say who, but we were in a big facility. All right, we had a line of cordless tools that was right next to the break room. So every day around like 12:30, our tools would fall offline. And of course, we get the call and they say, "Hey, what's going on? These tools are falling offline every day about the same time. What's going on?" And immediately, it's like something's wrong with the tools. So we kind of deep dove the problem, and what happened was they had a bunch of old microwaves. So they were going and heating up their lunch, about 12:30, and it was so strong. There was such an interference. And by the way, we designed these tools to not get interfered with and not interfere with other stuff, right? It's certified for that to a certain level. But it was strong enough. All those microwaves popping off all at once would knock the tools off the network.
hungry man taking down the tools.
So again, we talk about the limitations of Bluetooth.
Fish sticks.
Yeah. We talk about the limitations of Bluetooth, man, and that's the problem is you don't have control over that sometimes. So, with Wi-Fi, just backing up your point here, Jerome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big advantages.
So you
to
told them they
Wi-Fi.
need to replace all the tools, right?
Yeah. But you know what?
That goes
Really
over really well.
great. Yeah, we told them to stop
You
eating
bought
lunch.
them.
Replace
You bought
the
them 4 microwaves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's a big enough facility. It was like 30 or 40 microwaves.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
crazy, but yeah. So
See, y'all are a bit younger than me. I remember being in like 3rd, 4th grade, and I went to a small little church school, and there's like 100 of us in the whole school, right? So my class, 1st grade, we got like 20 or something. I don't know how many we had, maybe 175 in the school. But we had like 20 kids in our class. And I'll never forget the first day we came out into the lunchroom, which was the gymnasium with tables that came out of the walls. And we sat down, and there was this magic box sitting right outside of the little kitchen area. We did not have a cafeteria. It was too small of a school. Little magic box sitting on top of that. And the teacher was like, "We now have a microwave. If you bring something from home that needs to be microwaved, you can stand in line." And we were like, oh. So we're all trying to figure out what can we bring to school to put in the magic microwave.
that's
Yeah, like it was crazy. So yeah, that dates me. Yep. And I had a black and white TV too, so don't laugh at me. Y'all probably never even saw black and white TV.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
You're missing the gray and the beard. I'm not as young as you think I am.